Welcome back to the Deep Dive, where we take a stack of your sources and extract the most important nuggets of knowledge and insight.
Think of us as your expert guides, helping you cut through the noise to truly understand what's important, with a few surprising facts along the way.
Today, we're diving deep into the intricate world of Vicki Doudera's captivating mystery novel, A House to Die For. Our mission? Well, it's to unravel a tangled web of secrets, suspicious deaths, and, high-stakes real estate deals, all set against the dramatic backdrop of a Maine island.
We'll explore how past traumas, hidden identities, and, the unique dynamics of a tight-knit community don't just create plot twists. They reveal a profound truth about how easily the obvious can obscure the truly dangerous.
Okay, let's unpack this. So our story opens by introducing a character who, frankly, personifies unchecked ambition. Dr. Emerson Phipps, he's this brilliant Boston spinal surgeon, right?
Brilliant. But his world is defined by this desire for luxury and wealth. We're talking, Milan leather jackets, a penthouse, a top-tier BMW.
Right, this isn't just success. For Phipps, it's about privilege, prestige, and, well, raw power.
And what's crucial here, I think, is how the author immediately shows that despite his brilliance, Phipps's professional life is already kind of shaky.
Shaky how?
Well, he's appeared before the hospital ethics committee multiple times. Negligent behavior, tardiness, stuff like that.
Right, there's that chilling detail about a patient dying before he even arrived, even though he was the expert called in.
Exactly. It's not just character building. It's this subtle foreshadowing that his arrogance, his moral compromises, they're going to have fatal consequences down the line.
And his ultimate symbol of this self-proclaimed privilege, Fairview, this sprawling estate on a Maine island.
Yeah, he sees it as his mini kingdom, you know, complete with tennis courts, an airstrip, an indoor pool. He's obsessed with getting it.
Been fixated on it for years, seeing it as the final jewel in his crown.
Okay, so in stark contrast to Phipps, we meet our protagonist, Darby Farr. She's a highly sought-after real estate pro from San Diego, known for being really sharp.
But her return to Hurricane Harbor, Maine, isn't for some glamorous deal.
No, not at all. It's triggered because her Aunt Jane Farr is critically ill. And what grabs you immediately is Darby's intense reluctance. She really does not want to be back on that island.
Yeah, she's clearly haunted by a past she's desperately tried to bury for, what, a decade? And those fragmented memories she carries, stealing a red pickup truck, finding cash in her aunt's desk, that final ferry trip away. How do these early glimpses immediately complicate things? What was her relationship with Aunt Jane like?
Well, they create this profound sense of foreboding, don't they? They hint at something complicated, maybe even fractured, with her aunt and some darker secret tying her to the island.
Okay, speaking of Jane Farr, she's quite a character herself.
Definitely. Darby's aunt isn't just a successful real estate broker. She's known as an island benefactress.
But when Darby gets to Jane's Queen Anne Victorian home, it's not the cozy place she remembers.
No, it's been transformed into what Darby calls a YMCA with office space. It's packed with exercise machines, treadmills, bench press, rowing machine.
It is quite a transformation, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think the author's getting at there? About Jane's character, maybe hidden anxieties, through this intense late-life fitness kick?
I think it signals this restless energy, maybe even a hidden desperation, under that benevolent facade. Her physical change kind of suggests she's trying to outrun or control something. And those weird hardware store trips?
Right, the odd things, vague trips for projects.
Exactly. While they seem minor, they hint Jane has secret projects, and maybe secrets of her own. It sets this crucial undercurrent.
And yeah, the plot doesn't waste any time thickening, does it? Almost immediately, Jane Farr passes away.
Right. And that thrusts Darby, still reeling, into managing her aunt's complex affairs, including the massive sale of Fairview.
The initial buyer is Peyton Mayerson. It's a nearly $6 million deal. Big money.
Huge. And Peyton plans to turn Fairview into this lavish resort shows, a martini bar, a first-rate restaurant.
But her purchase depends on getting planning board approval for zoning changes and a liquor license.
And that vulnerability is key. The author uses it to throw a fantastic wrench into the works.
And that wrench arrives in the form of, well, a truly disruptive force, Soames Pemberton.
Ah, Soames. Yeah, he's a local with a complicated past. Bushy black hair, beard, Navy SEAL veteran, Gulf War.
But also struggling.
Yeah.
PTSD, heroin addiction. His ferry license got yanked for drug use.
So Soames shows up at the planning board meeting waving this old deed from his great-granddaddy, Thaddeus Pemberton.
Right, concerning some supposedly worthless 10 acres of cow pasture.
But it contains these restrictive covenants. No drinking, dancing, or whoring. Classic old language.
And Darby, being the sharp real estate mind she is, quickly figures out these restrictions could apply to all former Pemberton lands.
Including Fairview, which would totally derail Peyton's resort plan. No liquor license, no martini bar, boom.
It's a brilliant legal red herring, isn't it?
Yeah.
Using old property law to mess up this huge deal misdirects everyone.
Totally. Expertly done.
And here's where the intrigue really ramps up. What Peyton doesn't know is that Mark Trimble,
Lucy's brother, co-owner of Fairview.
Right. He has a secret backup offer from his old college buddy, Emerson Phipps.
Ah, Phipps again. Paying cash, no contingencies. Very strong position if Peyton's deal collapses.
Suddenly, Fairview isn't just a house. It's a chess piece in a much bigger, much murkier game.
Exactly. And the danger becomes very real, very quickly for Darby. Soon after arriving, she's attacked by Soames Pemberton in a public restroom.
Yeah, that's chilling. He calls her by her full name, showing he knows exactly who she is, and warns her to stay off the island. Sets a really personal, threatening tone.
But Darby fights back. She's got self-defense skills from San Diego's Aikido Academy.
He uses a knee strike, stomps his foot. It shows she's not helpless.
And later, Tina Ames gives her pepper spray, notes how effective it is. Foreshadowing, maybe.
Could be. And then the central crime happens, escalating everything dramatically. Donnie Peace, the caretaker at Fairview.
The conscientious one, yeah. He makes this grim discovery, finds Emerson Phipps's body in the garden shed.
And it's brutal. Crushed head, gardening shears in his gut. Poor Donnie, being squeamish, is deeply affected. Grounds the horror a bit.
Definitely. And to complicate things even more, Lucy Trimble, Mark's sister, is found near the cliffs at Fairview.
Injured, distraught, claiming she was pushed.
And Chief DuPont, the local police chief, immediately zeroes in on Lucy as the prime suspect.
Why so fast? What's the evidence?
Well, they find her cigarettes nearby and a painting smock covered in Phipps's blood. Seems damning.
But why focus only on Lucy so quickly?
That's a great question. We find out his secretary, Lorraine Del Vecchio, knows Lucy's secret. It implies the chief knew something beforehand, influencing his investigation from the start.
Suggests bias, doesn't it? Preconceived notions overriding impartial police work.
Precisely. And as these hidden layers peel back, we discover Lucy's secret. It's huge.
She confesses to Darby and Mark that Emerson Phipps raped her when she was 16.
A truly shocking revelation. It provides this incredibly powerful motive for murder. But as we find out, it might be too powerful, almost misleading.
And she shows them the fraternity symbol Phipps burned onto her.
Yeah.
Horrifying detail.
Devastating. And Lucy also admits to a past heroin addiction. She sought treatment with a Dr. Hotchkiss.
Which immediately complicates her as a suspect, right? Provides motive, but also a history the chief can easily exploit.
Exactly. And Chief DuPont's approach gets more and more questionable. He seems biased, dismissive, just laser-focused on Lucy, ignores other leads.
How much do his personal views play into this? His connection to Darby's mother, his whole summer people versus islanders thing?
It clearly clouds his judgment. He implies Lucy's social status makes her different, not a true islander. It's this class bias funneling his investigation down one convenient path. He's missing the bigger picture.
So while the chief is fixated on Lucy, Darby investigates. And a missing medical file becomes key.
Right. Darby looks for Dr. Hotchkiss's old records, specifically Lucy's file. She thinks it holds crucial info. She and Laura Gefferelli almost get caught by DuPont searching for it.
And then, fascinatingly, Darby and Tina find Lucy's medical file. Where?
At Soames Pemberton's rundown cabin, along with heroin, the file confirms Phipps was Lucy's rapist.
Finding the file there immediately points to Soames, right? How did he get it? Was he involved? Or is it a frame-up?
Feels like a clear frame-up. And things get even weirder when Lucy, in the hospital after the murder, is given heroin-laced chocolates.
Poisoned. And Darby connects it to Soames again.
Yeah, because Soames knew Lucy was a former user from their counseling sessions at the Coastside Clinic, a clinic Jane Farr, ironically, helped set up.
Wow. So the circumstantial evidence against Soames keeps piling up.
It does. But his profile as the killer feels off inconsistent. Tina, who knows Soames well, is skeptical about him smashing Phipps's skull.
Why?
She says it's too, sissy, or maybe crude is a better word, for a Navy SEAL. She figures he'd use strategy, like strangling or booby traps, not just brute force.
Interesting point. And Soames boasts about blackmailing someone to Tina.
But never about killing Phipps. So is he capable, or is he just a pawn being framed?
And adding another layer, we find out Phipps left envelopes at the local Agway store for SP Soames Pemberton.
One had the old deed, the other had a check.
That screams transactional relationship, doesn't it? Phipps paying Soames off. Blackmail, maybe. Not a murder plot, at least not from Soames' end.
Exactly. Meanwhile, Peyton Mayerson's desperation comes into focus. Turns out she's under huge pressure to close the Fairview deal.
Owes money to some shady New Jersey guys.
And the big reveal, Peyton is actually Penelope Mancusi, sister of a mob boss. Deep in organized crime, her life's in danger, her whole relationship with Emilio Landi is a front.
Wow. And her lawyer, Arthur Toussaint, seems tangled up in her schemes too.
Looks that way. And just when you think you've got all the players, Mark Trimble drops a bombshell.
Lucy's brother. What does he reveal?
He admits to Darby he lied about the backup offer from Phipps. And he was the one who paid Soames Pemberton to bring out that old deed at the planning meeting.
Why? What was his motive?
An intense desire to sell Fairview. He calls it a prison. It just shows, in this tangled web, nearly everyone has a hidden agenda. The obvious suspects, rarely the guilty ones.
It creates this incredibly layered mystery where motives are just interwoven and the truth is buried deep. You have to question everything.
And this is where the puzzle pieces finally truly click into place, revealing a truth that's way more chilling than we first thought.
The real killer of Emerson Phipps is uncovered.
Yeah.
And the critical clue is found at Phipps's hospital memorial on the Wall of Remembrance.
Right. Darby notices the name Linda Gefferelli etched there, just 2 lines above Phipps' name.
Who was Linda Gefferelli?
Darby learns Linda was a nurse in neonatology at Boston Memorial. She was injured in a car accident and tragically died before Emerson Phipps, who was supposed to operate, could perform the surgery.
Oh, wow. And there was more, right? Something about a baby.
Yes. A preemie had died under Linda's care before the accident, leading to a wrongful death claim against her. This detail is absolutely central to the killer's motive.
So the Laura Gefferelli Darby knows on the island.
Isn't Laura at all? She's Linda Gefferelli's twin sister. The Laura Darby knew is actually Linda. Linda assumed her dead sister Laura's identity.
Why?
To escape the lawsuit after Laura died and start a new life on the island as an associate minister. It's this incredible, tragic twist of identity theft fueled by grief and rage.
And this is the core of the vendetta. Linda, pretending to be Laura, murdered Emerson Phipps.
Exactly, out of revenge for his perceived negligence in her sister's death. And she meticulously planned to frame Soames Pemberton using his addiction history against him.
How did she stage it?
She used a stun gun first, then blunt force smashed his skull, made it look like a drug-fueled rage killing. Chillingly calculated.
And Linda didn't stop with Phipps, did she?
No. She admits killing Soames, too, with the stun gun, claiming his health was bad anyway. She also confesses she poisoned Lucy with those heroin chocolates and tried to push her off the cliff.
Just tying up all the loose ends, removing anyone who could possibly expose her.
Precisely. The climactic confrontation happens on, what's in a name, Linda's sailboat, during a massive storm.
Sounds intense.
It is. Linda, just consumed by rage, reveals everything, her identity, her motive, ranting about Phipps's lack of consideration or compassion, then a desperate struggle. Darby, still weak from being stunned, fights Linda amidst hurricane winds and huge waves. The writing really puts you there.
How does it end?
Darby manages to kick Linda into the cabin, takes control of the boat despite everything, and steers it towards the graves, this dangerous area of rocks.
And then rescue.
Just in the nick of time. Ryan Oakes from the Island Association arrives, rescues Darby, and captures Linda. A really dramatic, perilous end to such a twisted plot.
Wow. A fitting end for a character consumed by that kind of grief and rage. But the story doesn't just stop there, right? It explores the aftermath, the justice and healing.
Absolutely. With Linda apprehended, she confesses everything. Phipps, Soames, the attempts on Lucy and Darby.
So Lucy Trimble is completely cleared.
Fully cleared, allowing her to finally start healing from the rape trauma and her past addiction. And it's interesting how Phipps's legacy gets handled, too.
Oh, so?
Well, his sister, Alicia Kamalski, gets his estate, and she makes these big philanthropic donations to Boston Memorial Hospital.
Honoring his memory.
In a way he never would have himself. The book notes he hated to part with money. And crucially, she remains totally unaware of his true character, the rape, the circumstances of his death. His public image stays clean, while only a few know the real story.
That's quite something. And Fairview, the contested estate.
Finally resolved. Peyton Mayerson, Penelope Mancusi, and her lawyer Toussaint are arrested by FBI Special Agent Ed Landis.
Who is posing as Emilio Landi. The mob subplot wraps up neatly.
Yep. And Fairview itself is sold to the Maine Island Association, run by Ryan Oakes. It becomes a community center, preserved, which seems to please Mark and Lucy, finally freeing them from what Mark called a prison.
So many threads tied up. And what about Darby, our protagonist? What's her new beginning?
Darby finds this profound sense of peace, actually.
Yeah.
Reconciliation with her Aunt Jane's memory. She accepts Jane's flaws, her strengths, especially after learning about Jane's final gift.
What was the gift?
Jane had secretly, years ago, repurchased Darby's childhood home, 220 Cove Road, and quietly deeded it to Darby. A beautiful, unspoken act of love and forgiveness.
Wow. That's powerful.
It really is. So Darby starts moving forward from her own past trauma, acknowledges she needs to grieve her parents, and her relationship with Miles Porter deepens, offering a real new start. The whole Hurricane Harbor community, characters like Donnie and Tina, provide the sense of belonging she needed.
What an incredible journey through just a complex web of deceit and redemption. This deep dive really reminds us that what we see on the surface is so rarely the full story. And sometimes the most dangerous truths are hidden right there in plain sight, masquerading as something totally different. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? How often do we miss the real story because we're looking for the most obvious villain?
Or because our own biases get in the way.
Exactly.
It definitely raises that question. When information is fragmented, when motives are deliberately hidden, how do you figure out what truly matters? And, are some secrets better left buried, or do they always surface eventually, demanding a reckoning, maybe even when the person who buried them isn't the one who pays the price?
Something to think about. Until next time, keep digging, keep questioning, and keep deep diving into the unexpected.